Blue collar, white collar, black professors, white scholars, politicians, Dalai Lamas. Everybody in the whole wide world need hope if I be honest. I'm in that number.
Hey, good day, everybody. This is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. How you doing today? Want to make sure my sound is good. I look like I'm okay up here. Anybody can you tell me? Can you hear me? And then we're going to get into this. I'm not going to be long. All right, I'm not going to be long. Give me a moment. Got folks calling me this time of night. What's wrong with them? Yeah, this is my ex-girlfriend. She's going out of town, so hang in there with me. All right, so let's get into it. Today, I went to the Bernie Sanders rally in Brooklyn. Now, you got to understand, most of the people did not know about this rally. This was through via text or email if you signed on to the website. Now, you got to understand me. Me being a political commentator up here, I signed on to everybody who's running for office in the Democratic Party. I'm going to sign on for those speeches in the Green Party or any other party. And I'm going to try to go to some Republican rallies too, and try to get the feel on the ground. I'm going to try to interview people. Today, I went with the intention, I had my camera, had my microphone, and I went with the intention to interview people today. It was cold as crap out there. I shot a little video. I tried to keep the video going, but my hand was freaking freezing. I left my gloves on the train. I fell asleep on the train and got up too fast, and I left my gloves on the train, so I was without gloves. And then my phone died in the middle of it. But the crowd for his first rally was pretty nice sized crowd. I would say maybe 10,000 at the minimum at that event. There was no way I can get high up so you can see it. And then on top of that, my battery died. Now, in his message, he talked his same old message, the same message he's been talking for umpteen years. And then he talked about what he'll do in his first day in office. Now, I'm going to go through this a little bit, and then I'm going to be done because Brother Todd got to go sleep. Got to go to church tomorrow. So I got a lot of stuff I got to do tomorrow. But I did want to give you information from the ground. Now, you know me. I just did this thing about I am an ADOS supporter. And a lot of people are freaking out because they think the ADOS topics is going to derail Bernie Sanders' campaign. So they actually think this is a political operative to stop Bernie. And that is ridiculous because they've been talking about this for 20, 30 years. They've been talking about this since Dr. King. So no, please, people, stop thinking this is against Bernie. The same question has been asked to every opponent that's running for office, not just Bernie. My deal is if Bernie want to get a blowout, he need to get in front of this situation. And he should develop a team to work on that particular plank. That's a policy plank. The Green Party had this in their plank, as you saw yesterday, along with their progressive policies. Now, I got to tell you, I like the Green Party's stance on their policies, their progressive agenda. Man, they got a lot of good stuff in there. Canceling student loan debt, no cost education. Bernie talked about doing whatever he can to minimize the debt, but he ain't go as far as saying canceling student loan debt. Now, AOC is talking about canceling student loan debt. Sanders not at that level yet. So you got to understand that you're not going to agree with everything that this man says, and it doesn't mean he's against you. Now, I got people trolling me, thinking I'm going to automatically vote for Bernie Sanders. They trolling me because they thinking I'm not going to vote for Bernie Sanders. Let me slow your roll. Okay. Number one, you don't determine who I vote for. And that's why a lot of people normally don't tell you who they're going to vote for, because you can't handle the truth. So you can get off me on that, because I'm very, very particular about my vote. I'm not in a Messiah complex. I don't think Bernie Sanders is the king of the world that can save America. I believe he got some great policies, and I'm listening to him like I listened to him last year. Again, I looked at his track record, and one of my things is I will always say, what have you done before? Don't come telling me you for that. Were you for that when you was running for Senate? Were you for that when you was running for state legislator? Or is this something you just jumped on? See, the person who just jumped on this horse, I don't trust them. I'm not going to believe them. Thank you, New Beginning. Appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I'm not going to trust you just because you're older, white man. I'm not going to trust you because you're black. I'm not going to trust you because you're a woman. I'm not going to trust you because you probably got toe jams. I don't trust you if you got one eye. It doesn't matter. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at what party you in. I can give a crap about your party. Listen to me, people. I am anti-party. So don't expect me to participate in your party. I'm anti-party. I'm all about people. And whatever you do to help my people as well as other people, I don't want you to think I'm just pro-black and all I care about is black people. No, I do care about my people. But I care about everybody. Because I love everybody. I don't even Trump supporters, I love them. I may not like their stance. I may not like their direction in life. I may not like their decision to support Trump. But at the end of the day, I'm a Christian working to be my best Christian I can. Not that extreme right wing mess. I'm a Christian after the Dr. Martin Luther King order. Doing my best to embrace everybody because I believe everybody can change. And in this election, people can change. Now, what this has to do with Bernie Sanders and his rally? Well, on the ground, if you looked at that rally, certain mandates that people have put out there, certain agendas out that have been put out there, right now it look like it's not going to harm the Sanders campaign. Sanders campaign is strong. And a lot of young people don't understand the things that us older people have been through, or people older than us have been through, until they have been sat down and understand the struggles of especially the black community. But yet the struggles of the poor community, people struggle in general. Now, I will always separate the reparation topic from Bernie Sanders' policies, even though I believe reparations should be a major plank in Bernie Sanders' policy if he want to blow out the election. Everybody else is saying they're supporting it. And my thing is, if you want to get in front of, there are professionals that's already been working on this thing. Just get with them, meet with them, and understand it so you can make it part of your policy plank. If you do, you will get a blowout. Because you will get a lot of black support. He's still going to get some black support, whether he's supported or not. Because some black people, it's just not that important to them, unfortunately. And I can't do nothing about that. And you can't do nothing about that. That's just the way it is. Some people need a little bit of help right now with certain things like childcare, more jobs, union support, debt-free college. Some people need that right now. So they're going to go for Sanders' message regardless of the issue of reparations. So a lot of people think reparations is going to derail this man's campaign. It'll hurt. But you got to understand this. Bernie Sanders didn't even get the black support when he ran against Hillary. And he almost beat her. So stop. People, get your panties out of the bunch. Get your panties out of the bunch. Okay? I'm still going to hold his feet to the fire. I will still ask him about this, and I will still tell him there's no reason why you can't support this. You don't have to have the all solution before the support for it. Support it. There's people who got the solution. Meet with them, and let's get it happen once you become president. Don't just... Now, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Now, on the ground, you got blacks, Jamaicans, Haitians. This wasn't like that last year. 4 years ago, because they were riding that horse of Hillary Clinton. But in New York City, especially in Brooklyn, Bernie's hometown, You had young people out there. Thank you, Information Man, for the support. I really appreciate it. Hey, go check out Information Man show. I've been checking out this brother's show. It is off the chain. The brother is smart. He's invited me to be on the show, and I'm going to be on the show soon. I get a little intimidated when people are a little smarter than me in certain areas, but hey, it's two brothers that's going to chop it up about the world and about life and about people and making sure people get the best that life have to offer. So when that happens, we're going to let you know. Me and him going to be on the show together. And I thank you for your support, brother. So go check out his channel, like, subscribe. And hey, some of the topic is tough, from financial growth in certain communities. And we even talk about reparations too. But yet we talk about other things too besides that. All right. So check out his channel. And but yeah, on the ground, Bernie Sanders. It looked like he haven't lost his mojo. The crowd was huge. Of course, Nina Turner, who I think better be his VP. And I will always say that because she's done more for them. The only person that done more for Bernie Sanders is his wife, Jane. Nina Turner has done more for that man than anybody that he's connected with. And to me, for him not to right away answer the question, who will be your VP? To me, he need to say Nina Turner. It's just a given, Nina Turner. You know, because people love Nina Turner. And she, just in case Bernie, Bernie's, his age is up there. Age don't mean anything, but he's up there. But if, she's able to take that message and take it to another level. And I believe she got a lot of other policy planks she can add to that platform too, if she ever to become vice president or president. But on the ground, I wanted to take my mic and talk to people. I want to talk to them about no-cost education. I even wanted to talk to him about should he support reparations. And I just wanted to talk to him about a whole lot of stuff. But my doggone phone died. And on top of that, I left my SIM card on my DSLR camera at home. So today was just horrible for me. I went out there, got excited, got there late, but I got in there just in time as Sean King was talking, just in time. But my mic, I just wasn't prepared. I don't have a team. I'm a one-man show, as you know, so please forgive me. But I did try my best to get people in tune, even though my hands was freezing. Now, on the ground, the kids, little kids, was going off. The parents were training these kids. The kids, little kids was out there. Young kids was out there shouting his name. All I could say, it was a melting pot, but New York is just like that. New York is like that. You had Jews, you had Russians, not bots, real Russians that live in New York City that want that want a better America for everybody too. They're out there. Asians, you name it, they were out there in huge numbers. But the support for Black America in New York was a little bit bigger than it was when it was 2016 with Hillary Clinton. And that's because Hillary Clinton was smart enough, cunning, sly, kind of snakish, smart enough to hit those southern states first before we got to the other states. Now, the one part about New York City, and it sucks because I'm an independent, all right? I don't want to be forced to vote for nobody. And a lot of people telling me you need to go ahead and sign up as a Democrat to support Bernie Sanders. I told you, didn't I tell you, I'm not giving my 100% support to anybody. I'm going to always talk about their policy positions and do they have the ability to make those things happen. And I'm always going to talk about all people and all parties. All people. Now, still talking about the ground level. Crowd was amped. There was a lot of energy there. I got to give it to him. So that Feel the Bern mojo from 2016 is there. Now, me, I've got burnt by the Bern. I felt like Bernie should have kept running. And I was one of his biggest supporters. Actually, Bob TV came from the word Bernie or Bus TV. I just decided to bring it in as my channel name because my name is Robert, which is short for Bob. So, but on the ground, people, they're pushing his policies. Now, one of the things that Bernie did was he gave people a glimpse into what the White House would be like. And a lot of things, I'm going to see if I can get to that point and let you guys hear a little bit if you didn't hear the rally. I'm for those policies Bernie Sanders are pushing. But when it comes to reparations, I really want him to adopt that and not run from it. A lot of people say run from it. Why? It's nothing to run from. Jill Stein didn't run from it. Ajamo Baraka didn't run from it. But I know some of you think they were trying to be used by the FBI and all that to derail the election too. Man, they've been running on that for the longest. Okay. So, what else I can say about the ground level? Nothing. That's it. It was just a lot of energy there. People were fired up, amped up. I don't see anything that was different. I don't see how it was weakened in this first rally. Now, as the years go by and he started to go to different areas of the country, especially when he go down to the Southern Belt and he go to places like Atlanta, Tallahassee, Tampa, places where they have certain segments that where there's a high population of African Americans, things like that, you'll be able to gauge the ground and see if he's going to get African American support. But as I said before, Bernie Sanders didn't have majority African American support when it comes to the primaries. Yet he still almost beat Hillary Clinton. So I'm saying this. You want to have black support. But black support enough isn't alone to win an election. Right now, unfortunately, the black support in the Democratic Party barely got Northam into office in Virginia, and we know how that turned out to be. Black support barely got what's his name elected against the races in Alabama. Barely. 90% of black men and black women are voting in the Democratic Party, and they're barely winning or barely losing. Had Andrew Gillum stuck with the platform of progressive policies, he could have won Florida. But the moment he stopped hanging out and smoozing out with the Debbie Watcher, man, she sucks, and the Hillary Clintons and the Barack Obamas and all that, the independents got away from him. And I believe that was one of the things that derailed his campaign against DeSantis or whatever his name is. It wasn't just the fact that he could have blew out DeSantis if he stayed away from the corporate Democrats, stick with the progressive message that got him the nomination, and kept it at that. But he didn't. So he barely lost. The other ones that ran, they ran against races and they barely won. We don't need a barely winning election this year. Stopping Trump is a goal. But we can't have just anybody in that office who just going to sit on their hand and not do anything. And we can't have anybody in that office in my community. We are going to say, hey, we need to do something specific for the black community, because the black community has been still at the bottom of the totem pole no matter what. And I know everybody's saying, but Bernie policies will lift up the black community. No, it will lift up all communities, including the black community, but yet we still will be at the bottom of the totem pole. We won't be here. Yes, we will get health care if it get passed. Yes, we will get education if it get passed. Yes, we will get all these things. But you really have to go to work to make the level field, to develop a level playing field when it comes to certain things that black people have been gypped out of for decades, for hundreds of years. Jobs, businesses, business loans, opportunity to invest in tech opportunity. We can't invest like talking about because we're not able to get the money like talking about. Everybody else can come into this country and get money to get involved in the business sector faster than African Americans. So please, people, don't get mad at those people who are asking for reparations or asking for a real lift, not that Kamala Harris crap. Okay? All right, now I'm gonna let me go into this video. Let me see if I can pull it up and let you see what Bernie Sanders said. His first, what it would be like to be in his office. All right, so just give me a moment, okay?
What we are about is doing exactly the opposite. We're going to bring our people together. I learned a great deal about immigration, rent control, where I came from. If I might take a moment as I return here to the area that I was born, let me say a few personal words.
All right, so we're going to start here and talk about the area where Bernie Sanders' background growing up, and I hope you guys can hear this, okay?
As we launch this campaign for president, you deserve to know where I came from, because family history obviously heavily influences the values that we develop as adults. I was born literally a few miles away from here on East 26th Street in Kings Highway. And my family and I lived in a 3.5-room rent-controlled apartment. My father was a paint salesman who worked hard his entire life, but never made much money. And my mother raised my brother and me. I learned a great deal about immigration as a child because my father came from Poland at the age of 17 without a nickel in his pocket, without knowing one word of English. He came to the United States to escape the crushing poverty.
I'm going to stop here for a second. Now, Bernie Sanders mentioned about his dad being an immigrant. He was involved in, he was running from Hitler, and most of his family got killed. As you know, he's a Jew. He's Jewish. And his dad came here with, what, $15 or $5 in his pocket, but yet built a life for his family. Now, I have to stop there and comment on this because that's one of the reasons, and that might be a little too loud, that is one of the reasons why people are talking about reparations, because the slaves never got that. They didn't come by their own will. They came under a whip and chain. And yet they're not able to get that kind of opportunity where they could just come here, start a life, start your own business, or work wasn't easy to get at that time, especially back then in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, let alone post 1900s. So that's where people are talking about that opportunity is not there, and it's still not there, even though people think it is. And anyway, let me keep going.
That existed in his community and to escape widespread anti-Semitism. And it was a good thing that he came to this country, because virtually his entire family was wiped out by Hitler and Nazi barbarism. I am not going to tell you that I grew up in a home of desperate poverty. That would not be true. But what I will tell you is that coming from a lower middle-class family, I will never forget about how money, or really lack of money, was always a point of stress in our family.
My Wix site is fast.
Oh man, God, I hate these ads on YouTube. Now, you gotta understand this. This dude is a master campaigner, and what he's doing is tugging on the hearts of people and getting people to understand where he came from, and what he's going to do is stack that up against where Trump came from. Okay, but let me go to a little bit further up here and go into the first days of his White House. But he went into how privileged Trump has been, so he can never understand the need of working people. Okay, but let me go to the first days in office.
I should also mention that my brother Larry graduated. And one of the proudest days of my life was attending to do the same. War in Yemen. A little of what that means. When we are in the White.
All right, so before we go into this, going back to talking about Bernie Sanders, got to admit, Bernie Sanders is a master campaigner. He was literally cheated out of the nomination last time. He was cheated, and we know this. Okay, but he know how to campaign. Right now, he's going to go and look. I'm just being truthful. Like I said, I'm not taking sides, but I got to tell the truth as much as I can. Do know how to campaign. So it's going to take it's going to take some real forces to push back against this guy because of his ability to campaign and his ability to bring people in together. You know, if you think there's something that's going to divide this man from certain segment of society, you're wrong. It's not going to happen because he knows how to bring people together. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's so afraid to embrace certain policy planks for certain communities. Not understanding that he can embrace that and use it as a tool of bringing people together. All right, so let me go into his first days in the White House.
We will enact a federal jobs guarantee to ensure that everyone in this country is guaranteed a job. There is more
that's socialist.
than enough work to be done in this country. Let's get it done. When we are in the White House, we will attack the problem of urban gentrification and build the affordable housing this country desperately needs. When we are in the White House, we will end the decline of rural America. We will reopen rural hospitals that have been closed. And we will make sure that the young people in rural communities have decent jobs so that they can remain in the communities that they love. When we are in the White House, we're going to end the epidemic of gun violence in this country. And we are going to pass the common sense gun safety legislation that the overwhelming majority of Americans want to see. When we are in the White House, we're going to address not only the national disparities of wealth and income, but the racial disparities of wealth and income. We are going together to root out institutional racism wherever it exists. Not only will we end the cowardly outrage of voter suppression, we're going to make it easier for people to vote, not harder. When we are in the White House, we are going to protect a woman's right to control her own body. That decision is a woman's decision, not the federal government, not the state government, not the local government. Please make no mistake about it. The struggle that we are undertaking is not just about defeating Donald Trump. This struggle is about taking on the incredibly powerful institutions that control the economic and political life of our nation. And let me be very specific. I'm talking about Wall Street. I'm talking about the insurance companies, the drug companies, the military-industrial complex, the prison-industrial complex, the fossil fuel industry, and a corrupt campaign finance system that enables billionaires to buy elections. Brothers and sisters, we have Brothers and sisters, we have an enormous amount of work in front of us, and the path forward will not be easy. The wealthy and powerful elite who decade after decade have gotten everything they want will do all that they can to defend their financial interests. And they have an unlimited amount of money at their disposal. But we have something that they do not have. We have the people together. So this is what I believe. This is what I believe from the bottom of my heart. If we do not allow Trump and his friends to divide us up, if we stand together, black and white and Latino, Asian American, Native American, if we stand together, urban and rural, north, south, east, and west, if we stand together not as red state and blue state, but as working people fighting for dignity. If we stand together.
A lot of people have been
All right, man. These doggone commercials, man.
career, how to make more money. You know.
Believing in
Almost done.
justice and human dignity. If we stand together, believing in love and compassion. If we stand together, brothers and sisters, the future of this country is extraordinary, and there is nothing we will not be able to accomplish. Thank you all very much.
All right, people. There we go. All right. So thank you for hanging in there. All right, now let me come out of that video. Give me a moment. Give me a second. I don't want to hear this, man. All right, so there you go. There's two things I will never take away from Bernie Sanders. You can do whatever you want. Guy's a master campaigner. I'm not going to ever say he's not compassionate toward people. Another thing I'm not going to say is he don't care about black people, because the man has a civil rights record more than most black people. So, I mean, we got black people who are scared to take it out to the street. So I'm not going to say he don't have a record of fighting for the needs of not just black people, but fighting for working people. Okay. First time I ran into Bernie Sanders, didn't even know who the guy was. It was at the Verizon strike here in New York City. Okay, I've seen him before, but I never seen him outside the environment of Washington, D.C. And, man, he just went in on Verizon. Went in. And he didn't just go do a photo op. He stood there almost 4 hours with the Verizon workers before he decided to leave. And used that bullhorn and lost his voice. I had an opportunity. He came to my union and spoke at my union. And then he went to the Verizon workers strike that was going on a couple of years ago, and he literally ran there. So for his health, dude ran there. I saw him run from the building to the podium. Oh, well, almost to the podium. So these things I can't take away from Bernie. I can't take away his record of fighting for workers' right, because he has a strong record. I can't take away his record of doing his best to help elderly people. I can't take away his record of pushing unions and trying to give unions what they need. I can't take away from that. My only problem that I got with Bernie Sanders is, number one, when he was cheated in the last election, he did not fight against that, but he would run his mouth on Russia possibly hacking the election when he know Russia didn't hack the election. He know it was, number one, Hillary sucked, and number two, they got caught in their cheating, and they were exposed. Okay, that's my pet peeve. And then he did, instead of running independent, he decided to give in to campaign for Hillary Clinton, who he know was horrible for the country. And now my new pet peeve is him running away from the reparations issue. Even though his policies are great, and if he's elected in office, he will do things for black people as well as Asians. He will do things for all people. Unlike Trump, you know he ain't going to do things for all people, at least in my book. All right, so I'm not going to take that away. But I do want him to be put on the spot about this issue, just like we did with Barack Obama, just like we did with Bush, we did it with Bill Clinton, we doing it with other politicians too, about doing more for the black community, and that's reparations. Okay? Like I said, I'm not the expert on that. There's people you can talk to about that, but I do want him to embrace this issue, and I believe if he embraced this issue and don't run from it, and do like Jill Stein, have some guts and put it in his policy plank, he would get the black support that he didn't get last time. We already know that he will get a lot of independent support, and that's the biggest voting bloc of all. We already know he will get that. We already know certain Democrats he's going to get, and he'll pick up some Republicans. So his chance of winning a general is great, but he got to get past this this primary. Now, people get mad at me because first of all, New York, they want you to sign up in June, and the primary for New York is until March or April, which is crazy. New York need to be an open primary state. To me, forcing somebody to join your party is disgusting and is wrong. I shouldn't have to be forced to participate to vote for somebody in your party. I hate that. Open up the primaries. I'm part of the Open Primary Commission, and we're fighting for every state to open up their primaries. Shouldn't be locked in. I shouldn't be forced to join your party to vote for somebody that may be in your party. Like I said, I don't vote for parties. I vote for people. And if that person is in your party and I like them, I probably would vote for them. So, all right. So that's my report on the ground with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, he's a master campaigner. And the crowd was into him. And if he have that momentum going, his chance of winning the nomination is great. So for some of you people who think, somebody literally is trying to derail Bernie Sanders' campaign. Look, the Democratic Party was trying to derail his campaign. All right. Don't think this one issue is an attack on him, because that one issue has always been an issue and it is not an attack on him. And you need to pull back on that. Okay. I understand you want this guy to win, but don't think just because somebody grab a hold of a issue and want to put that before him and hold his feet to the fire on that, that's what you're supposed to do. You do it with these corporate Democrats. When they have an issue concerning the Green New Deal, you will basically say, if you'll put them through a litmus test. You say, if you don't support the Green New Deal, forget about me voting for you, won't you? You know you would. If you don't vote for Medicare for all, forget about it. I ain't voting for you. So why you get mad at people saying, black people, if they say, if you're not for reparation, I'm not voting for you? It's the same doggone thing. So I don't want to end it on the reparations, though. That's a separate story. And I'm not going to keep talking about that all the time through every show. There's a lot of things I need to talk about besides that. There's world issues going on in Venezuela. There's certain things going in my community. There's my old community in Surrey County that the water's contaminated over there. So I'm not going to be always talking about reparations and Bernie Sanders. BOBTV is not going to turn back into Bernie or Bust TV. This is Rob's report, and this is the BOBTV channel, and we're going to talk about local news. We're going to talk about neighborhood stuff, and we're going to talk about stuff that's going on in this country. And no, I'm not on nobody's side. I will jump on one party, and I'll jump on another party. I don't matter who it is. And I'll even jump on myself. Okay, I'm here because I want you to have a better life for you. I'm here because I want you to live to your full capacity in life before you leave this earth. That's what I'm here for. So if I have to go out here and march with the Fight for 15, like I've been doing for 5 years, before Sanders even ran for office, I was marching for the Fight for 15, then I'm going to do it. If I'm going to march with about policies for workers co-op, I'm going to do it. It doesn't matter. I'm here as a activist out here fighting for you and the things that you deserve in life. And it don't matter what side of the spectrum you're on. You could be a Republican, but if I know your plant got shut down and I'm in the area, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna pick up a sign and shout for you. So I'm not a one issue person. Life isn't one issue, but I do hold certain issues dear to my heart, like you hold certain issues dear to your heart. Okay? And I'm not going to get mad at you because you hold that dear to your heart. And if you want to be very strategic about that issue, especially when it comes to voting or picking somebody for office, I'm going to respect you for that. I'm not going to hate on you for that. Okay, because this is your life, this is your vote, this is America. You do what you want to do with the things that are precious to you. I thumbs you up for that. And don't hate me because I do what I feel is best for me. Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm done. I want to appreciate everybody for joining me on this late stream. Let me see who I got up there. You know, I'm halfway blind, so man, we got a good crowd up here. Let's see. Wow, of course, let's see. Thank you for those people who donated. I really appreciate it because, you know, the brother ain't got no job. I'm like Tommy O. Martin. This is my job right now until I go to arbitration. That's why I am for people who support unions. Because if it wasn't for my union, I wouldn't have no chance to fight for my job back. But because I got a union, we're going to arbitration and we're going to fight for my job back. Okay. I hate being in the unemployment line. Now I got a business, you know, but I got to go out there and work that business. I work as I go through life. I love my job. and I want my job back. All right, so let's see what we got up here. Of course, we got a lot of people, probably too many people to name. A dingo ate me baby. Always on the show, appreciate you. A. Maris, appreciate you. Anthony Bates, appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Of course, my man, Information Show. Appreciate you, brother. You know I do. Man, we got a lot of people up here today. New Beginnings, thank you for the donation, brother. I really appreciate you. R.S. Lee, thank you for participating in the show. I'm going to go over your comments later. And hey, if you got questions, you can always email me. And a couple of things I'm going to learn how to do. I'm going to bring back the old Freedom on Fire show, which is going to be an interview show where I interview different people in different aspects of life, from unions to unemployed people, to people, women who are trying to take care of 3 kids, and people look down on them and stuff. So I just want to have life issues on that particular channel and talk about ways of making it better for people. I'm also going to start a BOBTV Masterpiece Theater. And I don't know what date it's going to be, but it's going to be 11 o'clock at night, probably on a Saturday. And we're going to go through some issues that people never heard of. Like, I want to show Rosewood. I want to show a movie about Wall Street and the different things that happen to certain segments of society that most people don't know about. So people can get a heart and compassion for the things that people went through and understand where they come from when they have certain stance about certain issues. So I'm going to do that, BOBTV Masterpiece Theater. And I saw a movie about the rail car union and how they fought for their rights. So certain movies like that I want to show once a week, and I'll let you guys tune in. So I want to do more with the show. Now I got all this extra time. So anyway, I'm done. This is Robert Brown with the Rob Report, and coming from ground level at the Bernie Sanders rally. I love you guys and appreciate you guys. I respect you all. And hey, that's it. Talk to you later. Holla at you later. Peace. And hey, get some sleep, people. All right, it's time. It's late. Go to bed.